Hello and welcome to The Lab, a Minecraft podcast where we explore, experiment, and theorize about all things Minecraft. I am MinerThoughts, and with me is my co-host, my brother from down under, The1Troj. How are you today, Troj?
Hello, everybody. How are we doing? I'm excited. I survived the cyclone. That's part one. But
You're
also,
here.
hey, I'm here.
You're still here.
I'm still here. That's why we had to run real mining last week, because there was no way I was recording and editing last weekend. It was interesting times, but we survived. A little bit of damage to the house, but it didn't blow on me, so that's an important bit.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
You're excited for TGX.
There we go. Yes.
Okay.
So we did mention a little while ago that I'd been invited as a content creator to the Game Expo held in Melbourne, and it's next weekend at time of recording. So I will be making content from the Game Expo. I don't think I'll be live streaming. I don't think I can do that, but I am going to be making little snippets of videos, putting it up. If you want to follow along, check it out probably on Twitter or X. So what am I there? At The1Troj, or on Blue Sky, The1Troj. So I'll be probably doing little recordings, putting it up, talking to other content creators, showing it around. So yeah, if you want to follow along on the adventures next weekend, check me out on those two socials. That's where I'll be posting some videos. This is not the episode. We should talk about Minecraft.
Yes, we're talking about Minecraft here.
Yeah, we should.
So,
what are we talking about though?
Minecraft and stuff.
Excellent. That's what I like.
You asked me earlier today or yesterday, and I said stuff.
Oh.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
First time I think I can remember in the 4 years of us doing this, where we don't have a topic coming into a podcast.
We have an idea of a topic, but it's not like fully fleshed out.
This is the epitome of winging it today.
Yes,
because we've both had a week, like a week. You've had a day.
No. I've had a day, I've had a week, nice, relaxing week of vacation and not really thinking about topics, just trying to relax and enjoy the vacation. And then Friday comes and it's my only work day of the week. And you say, what are you talking about?
Well, that's usually what happens. We usually, at the start of a week, we usually say, all right, what are we talking about? Because we sort of like to base, if we can, things on what's happened in the community or what's the talking points are to keep it relevant. Or maybe someone's made a comment on Discord that we go, that's something interesting to talk about. And then during the week, we're sort of going back and forth, not necessarily plotting the episode out, but back and forth with our thoughts and that. So by the time we get to this part of the week, it's usually we've got well-formed thoughts, we've got opinions, we know sort of what we're going to bring out, blah, blah. This week, he's been away. I've been doing cyclone cleanup, and then work's been smashing me after that to catch up. Wing it time.
Well, okay. Here's my initial idea. I thought about, and we may have talked about this hit and miss before. I thought about talking about growing together as a community. Really through discovery. The reason why I thought of this is because there was a creator, just a small creator that saw Mumbo Jumbo, a huge creator, saw one of Mumbo's builds, and Mumbo, we said this in another podcast, the things that Mumbo's doing is really inspiring. He's stepping outside of his comfort zone, and he on his factory he had made an industrial fan. Well, someone that kind of does animation in Minecraft saw that and they're like, I can make that better, and animated his fan. And it looked really good. I mean,
it looks
really,
so
really
good.
loud. But a lot of people saw that and started shouting this guy out. And Mumbo picked up on it. And he just, for him, it just like, I can't stop thinking about this. And I mean, in the one video that he did, plus the video the Hermitcraft video he did, he shouted out this guy like lots and lots of times, and this guy has gone from probably a couple hundred to getting close to 10,000 in a very short time. And I started thinking about that and how one of our own, Jurassics, he just put out a video that he redid the mushroom farm that Grian featured, made some improvements, and he also took some suggestions from other people that had seen it and gave them a shout out. And I just think that's good for a community to grow together. Whether you're big or small, just sharing each other's creations.
I mean, that was, I guess, that was at the core of the formation of Interrealms, actually, was, and it's something that I've always said from day one and continue to say is stronger together, grow together. And I think that's accurate, particularly on Twitch. Like you just mentioned too, YouTube things, but the discoverability on Twitch is really poor. If you look at the people that have grown and grown quickly, it's because they network, and when you get into these special events that some people put on for streamers, you then get introduced to new audiences, and new audiences find you, and it's always been the way when you start connecting with a new person that you met. So I'm going to use Pyfro as an exampro. Exampro? Exampro, the Pyfro, the Exampro. Sorry, mate, if you're listening. I'm going to use him as an example. When he and I started talking, getting to know each other better, actually the first stream of his that I went into, he goes, "Oh, you play with Jurassics on Interrealms." And he'd known Jurassics from YouTube, not because of Grian, he'd followed Jurassics from that. And he connected Interrealms and then obviously connected my name. But then he and I started getting to talk and we become good friends. And, he's on Interrealms now and we're in each other's streams and whatnot. But just as an example, is when you start engaging in each other's communities like that, your followers exchange across. Some of his have come in, they're regulars in my stream and vice versa. Obviously, the Interrealms crew are now, regulars in his streams as well. And I think that is a really valid reason and proof of the strategy of, not necessarily a strategy, but of the stronger together, the grow together thing. And I think not just in terms of growth of a channel, but also growth of you as a content creator internally. You learn new things, and we always refer to Cobble, and this is going to be no exception here.
I was just going to mention, yep.
Like Cobble not streaming before really on Twitch, but has come in and learning things. Now, one of the things recently that I noticed with her is when she was streaming, she was only outputting her stream in 360, 380p or something like that. And for ages, I'd been meaning to tell her something about it, but she streams at times it's not convenient for me and I'd forget about it by the time I'd get back to it. But I did notice, I think it was Mika commented, and he must have helped her because her most recent stream was getting outputted at 1080p. And one of the most important things when you're streaming is make sure your video quality looks good. Video and audio. Probably audio first and then video quality. So it was when I popped into her stream, I think it was last night or the night before, to say, cobble. That's what I do. And then I just sort of sit there and lurk. Yeah, her video quality had jumped up. And I was like, good.
Nice.
But that's something that part of a community, as an example, is you learn different things to make your content better. And I think that's part of it. It makes you a better content creator, but even like impact on your life it can have as well, not being that solo creator. Interrealms and Twitch has given me some of the best friends I have. Right? So it's mind-blowing. And the internet's always been like that. It's always given that possibility. It's like Keegas, who we mention on here a lot, who's the IT guru of Interrealms and does like executive producing, so to speak, of the Interrealms podcast network. And he and I came up with the network together and ideas and all those sort of things. I've known him from the internet 17 years, probably. I knew him for a couple of years before my son was born, so from a different game that we used to play. He used to play a Star Wars game and he was in the same clan as I was. And, it's just, stronger together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's like you mentioned Cobble, and seeing it goes just beyond. It goes beyond the shout out or mentioning each other. Yeah, it goes to learning things together, being inspired by the things she's building, and and we have a lot of people in our community saying, "Please teach me your ways, Cobble. Teach me your ways." You know.
Axiom, please teach me. I'm coming up to land terraforming. I need to know.
Yeah, so it's there's different ways to grow and learn together. We have there's we have artists in our community. We usually stick to the artists uh, if we need anything. Instead of having art solicited to us, we have a small network of artists we go to. And speaking of artists, I really I got a shout out Sling, the Tales from the Interrealms logo, Chef's Kiss. I love it. I absolutely am in love with it. I know that's not Minecraft related, but man, you took what I had and you made it so much better.
Yeah, I think Sling's regretting doing that now. Sling and Sharks. She's learning. I think that I'm a perfectionist when it comes to graphics and branding and stuff because it went through a lot of design phases. Oh, I'll give you the tip. It went through a lot. So yeah, she suffered me greatly. And you are,
But
Cubsy will understand. Cubsy's my main artist that I go to for most stuff.
mhm.
Blind Cubsy. And he's got to the point now where he sort of knows my tastes and he sort of knows a general direction. So I can just go, Cubsy, I need this. And then at the moment, he gets it right.
Yeah, well, with this latest logo for the lab, we were trying to figure something out, and I drew just a quick sketch, just my thoughts on the logo, and you're like, there's something there. And then Cubsy did his thing, and we're like, oh, getting closer. And then, it just all clicked together.
And that's the other thing I think that brings that, if you're working together, that togetherness is people have different skill sets. I can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't do art to save my life. I can take assets and put them together into something that looks reasonable, but I can't do something from scratch like Cubsy or Sling. And it's just when you're together in a community like Interrealms, you got so many. Like there's 370 in the Discord now, and in those 370, there's so many different ranges of skill sets, and you work together and you put something amazing together. And we're not just talking Minecraft or content here. It's just life skills, life experiences. There's a little group for fitness group. I'm not going to say who's in it. We help keep each other motivated. There are little things like that happens. Like Saturday night game night or Friday night game night, which happens usually when we're recording. I saw it today when I woke up. There was tons of people in the group chat for that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There's just that community vibe that you don't get when you're alone.
Right now is it, I want to, like you, create stories and be a part of stories through the tabletop thing. I kind of feel guilty though that I'm so hyper focused on that right now, that I've kind of let the Minecraft thing go.
Yeah, but we know what our plan is for World 5.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was talking to Reimagine, and I think however long the rest of this world we're in, World 4 lasts, concentrate on the community things, doing things for the community, because we really enjoyed the Halloween build and doing the spawn village and different things. She's got some armor stand work to do for Mika. So instead of concentrating so much on our own things for the rest of this world, doing things that we can do for the community.
World 5, though, we're going to have to definitely work together because that's a massive undertaking. That's huge. No spoilers, but it's a massive undertaking.
Yeah. I mean, even if I'm just not going to see because
you can't help. I'm going to move the topic on before you end up accidentally spoiling.
Yeah, because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver.
That's what she said. So the got to get a Michael Scott reference in at least once in this podcast. But you raise a good point there. You're saying like Ree's doing armor stand work for Mika, and Mika's another example. Mika's another example of strength together this season, and we all give him so much poo-poo about it, saying, "Oh, so who's doing this for you this week, Mika?" Because it's like, "Oh, Pixie's built this for you. Husky does the mining for you. Blah blah blah." You know, so and so does it, and it's all done in jest, all done fun. Because Mika. I think of everybody this world has been the single person that has impressed me the most, and I'll explain why. Since season 1, Mika has been the sort of person. That's when he was Dracolis. Mika has been a person who has aimed for the stars and hit the East Coast. Big plans, multiple plans, never finished one.
I still do that, though.
I know. I'm not talking about you. This world, though, Mika has blown me away. His area with his village and that is astounding. He's taken your idea of the Adventures Guild from last season and made it happen. And he's made dungeons, and he's just like he's a man possessed. Like I've said to that many people, is how is he doing this so fast? And people say, well, he's got a lot more time than you, Troj. That's true as well. He's got help from people. He's got the community involved to do different things. So Ree with armor work, Pixie has helped him, teaching him things. Husky's helped. People got resources. So he's been getting the help as well, which is great because it's helping him with his content and getting, I think, one of, if not the most impressive spanning projects from this world. He's up there as one of the top creators from, if you look back at World 4, he'll be up there with the amount that he has achieved in 12 months. I would go so far as to say what he has done in this 12 months of Interrealms is more than he has done in the previous 3 worlds combined.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. And correct me if I'm wrong, at time of recording, I think I saw a social media post that said it is the 1-year birthday of this world, of World 4.
Yep. I look at what I've done, and I've done more on this world than I did last world combined, I feel. Maybe not Block's Place, but just in general. But it's just, there's a vibe this world still. Even though, we've gone, from 50 players down to more, and then more come in and whatnot. There's a vibe around of community that I don't think we've had. We've always had that community vibe, that vibe. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to use Sling as an example here. Sling and Sharks. When she was considering applying, her and I had a conversation. She wanted to have a chat. And I'm going to say specifically about what it was, because that's private. I said to her, you're going to find your people here. You will find your community here, based on what she had said to me. And I went, okay. And she went, okay. And then she applied. And I think in one of the fastest in history for accepting someone through the vote process to join Interrealms.
Yeah.
Twice now, she has said to me, quick pause, let me read a Discord message. Sling, I'm sorry if you don't want me to read this, but I'm going to. So we were talking about Sling doing the logo for the Tales from the Interrealms podcast. And obviously I've offered to pay her, and she said, no, this is my gift to the community. She said, I feel like I found a home in Interrealms, a family, and you do things for family. And my comment to that was, I'm not going to say I told you so. She's loving it. And I think when you find the right community, the right people, it becomes a joy. I haven't been able to be on the server, the Minecraft server, for over a month, just through computer problems, real world problems and whatnot. And it just so happened I had a break in work yesterday, and I was sitting at the computer, and I had Terry and SB co-stream up. The Chaos crew were streaming. I got an opportunity here. So I logged onto the server, and I was watching the stream. I only did it for the lols. I only did it for the reaction. And their reaction when they saw the The1Troj join the server, it gave me a little nice feeling inside. But you could see the reaction of them and those that were on their voice chat as well. It's like, they were happy.
Oh my God.
It was basically that.
He's alive.
It was like, you get that in a community that's a community. You don't get that if you join a random server. look on some of the Facebook groups, someone's starting a server every day. There are hundreds, there are, if not thousands upon thousands of servers. Most don't last 5 minutes. We're into our 5th year, and there's a definite family vibe and feel.
We're growing as a family. The activity has gone through ups and downs with this world, but I think because of the format, the way, we're trying to keep it pretty much open. If you find that Interrealms is the place you want to be, when a new person comes in, it starts, on the upward, activity gets in, starts to peak more, and people get more active. And I think that's good for the server, to when a new person comes in and they want to, see if this is, a place they want to call home, that's reinvigorates the rest of the family. So
it does. But I think every server, if you're just talking as a Minecraft server, every server does this. Every single one in terms of activity. And for those that are listening, up and down. That's just part of it. Because people's interests are not always 100% Minecraft. None of us are full-time content creators. So we can't always be 100% Minecraft. And sometimes your interest goes. At the moment, I'm playing PUBG a lot. And the reason I play PUBG is, A, it infuriates the hell out of me. But years ago, before my kids were born, I was a COD player, Call of Duty. Bad, but that was what I used to go to after work because it was just easy, turn on, quick couple of games and go to bed sort of thing. And that's really all I've had time for. For me, Minecraft is more in a time investment sort of game where you sit down when you've got a nice little period and just play, build, whatever. And I just have not had time to devote my headspace and my brain power to it. Whereas PUBG, A, it's free, but B, you turn it on and just play. You don't have to think, and then you turn it off within 3 games when you're sick of the cheaters. So, but you're right though. Every
motivation too.
Yeah, correct. And that does impact. But we're at 12 months in now. I don't expect the same level of activity from everybody now, 12 months into a world, as what there was when we first started for the first 3 months. Because the average lifespan of a Minecraft server is 6 months. From start to end, wrap up, that's the average. We're not talking content creator ones here. We're talking servers as a whole. The average is 6 months. So if you look at our world, that would make sense because about that 3-month mark, the activity started to peter off. And I think something we need to look at for World 5 is when we were all in Spawn Town, in Spawn Village, it was different. It was better. And I think we need to look at how do we keep people together for the duration, which is hard when you got 50 bases on a map.
Yeah, I had a thought about that because you guys might get a peek behind the curtain. Something that I think we as Interrealms need to talk about, and maybe other servers, is like the spawn village. And that's one of my favorite parts is, the beginning of the spawn village and how that popped up. And then the shopping district kind of opened up, but it kind of got neglected because 50 different bases.
Pretty much.
So I know, I mean, this is just right off the top of my head is like for World 5, Spawn Village could be a shopping district,
Yeah. I think I've got an idea in my head of something, but it needs another 12 months to formulate. But yeah, I think when you download a Hermitcraft world, their previous ones, or you even look at, if you're watching videos of their current season, they're living on top of each other.
Oh, yeah.
Basically. And I think what that does is it keeps people closer together and it keeps people more opportunity to accidentally bump into someone. Now, if you've got someone like a Cobble, me, Mika, Elaney, Cubsy, who are building huge, Furridge, that are building massive. And there's others. There's just ones that come to mind. Enzyme, massive. How do you make that work? But then when you look at the previous bases of Hermitcraft, which are mega bases, they're still really close together and it still works. So yeah, something for us to consider to keep that togetherness, because there was a definite vibe shift of this world when we went from together to our own base areas.
Yeah.
There was a definite shift, and I don't know whether that's something that I think every server I've ever been on, not just Interrealms, has experienced something like that. When you go off to your own world, your own base, you're sort of in your own little bit, and that's why when Cobble said to me, "Troj, when was the last time you left your base?" Good question.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Well, we've talked, behind the scenes, which I can't spoil anything about World 5 and working together, but I've got other ideas, but we're kind of still fleshing all that out. Some of the ideas that you and I are coming up with, and really it's something that's bigger than that one person can handle.
No.
So
one person could do it, but they need a lot of time, and they need to be probably a full-time content creator to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, it all goes back to that working together, growing together, and
and honestly, I think it would need to be more than our little crew. Like, it might be a case that we need to base up with a handful of people and say, this is the project, this is what we want to do. Do you want to be part of it?
Yeah.
And be like, Sim, if your arm's better, you want to come and help diggy.
Yeah. And not this won't spoil anything. I promise.
Here we go.
I promise.
Here we go.
You could do with the editing and magic if you want to, but in my mind, I think of like what Tango did. His base.
I think it's bigger.
His base was decked out.
Oh,
that was the thing.
The only thing that I will say is I will be doing no base next season. There will be no base.
That's my, that doesn't spoil anything, but the thoughts that are going through my head is no mega base. It's
a project.
What project, however you want to, is something that's going to be for the community, also community centered.
Yeah. Yeah, man, 100%. And it's going to be the complete opposite, I think, for me, is like this world, and Cobble was the one that woke me up to it. I'm very isolationist. I've played 300,000 blocks. I'm in my own little world. I'm getting this project done. And it's a project really for me. It doesn't have any, it's not no function. It just looks pretty. And it's a me project, whereas the next one is going to be, I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, now I got to figure out how to segue. I have found that the discussion that we had about, the pre-show discussion that we had about language and stuff, I found out that I use the word segue a lot. So
really,
I'm going to try and segue into the outro if I can.
Go nuts.
Okay. So what are your thoughts?
That's great.
All right. End the episode right here. No need for the socials.
Oh, that was brilliant. Miner.
Okay.
Where can they give us their thoughts?
Okay. This is the part where I come in and say, okay, sure. The best way to talk to us would be the Discord. You could talk to many of the content creators that we've mentioned today ourselves. Then there's also the email. If you want to send us a private email about something in this episode or others, or suggestions for other episodes, you can do that at the Minecraft Lab podcast at gmail.com, or over on the socials. You can find us at mclab_podcast on Twitter X, or at Lab MC Podcast on Blue Sky. And of course, all these links and more can be found on the interrealmsSMP.com website. You can find us, all the podcast episodes, to interrealmsSMP.com/podcast.
And if you want to interact with us more, obviously there is the Patreon. But in the next week, I'm going to give myself a little shout out. The Troj on Blue Sky, at The1Troj on Twitter X. If you want to see some videos from my first expo as a content creator, TGX, in Melbourne, Australia next weekend. Yeah, go follow me there, interact. And the more you guys interact, the more videos I'll post.
And you'll get back to streaming on Twitch. I'll get back to streaming on Twitch. I've got to stream. We've got to Interim's SMP live stream weekend coming up in the first part of April.
April 5 to 6, live stream weekend. We're doing mini games with guests, creators, and there are some big guests lined up. Let me just tell you that.
Wow. Nice. So, yeah, this has been an interesting talk about... We did basically wing it, but, we talked about growing together as creators, not only through collaborating with each other, mentioning each other, but helping each other grow and learn together.
And as I always have said since the very beginning of Interims, and I still believe it and I still hold it to heart, is stronger together, grow together.
This has been a production of the Interims Podcast Network. For more information, go to podcast.interimssmp.com. You can see that full link in the description of this episode. Thank you for listening.
Or I could ship myself.
Ship
myself. Feel free to edit that out.